Hey guys, welcome to another song lesson with me, Rex Pearson. I hope you're enjoying the website, rexpearson.com. We're going to be looking at a new song here today. It's currently just been released by Adele at the time of filming, but we're going to be learning as it is on the recording. Now, it's a piano on the recording, so we're going to have to do a finger picking approach or a hybrid picking approach, which is where you use the plectrum and the fingers at the same time to play this song. We're going to start with the intro and we're going to work through one section at a time, just like we have done in all my other lessons, build it up nice and steady. Now also don't forget that this lesson comes with its own mastery pack, which has all of these chords, all of these shapes. It has the structure, it's got the lyrics, it's got my practice tips, it's got my warm-ups, and it's got any tab and information that is relevant to the song, so that you can not only use this video, but you can use the pack that comes with it, which you can get from the website. Just look for the little symbol, which will be above this video, and click on that and you can get your mastery pack for it. Okay, so we're going to cover the intro for this Adele song. The song is called Set Fire to the Rain. Let's start with the introduction.
I let it fall, my heart, and as it fell, you rose to claim it. It was dark, and I was over, until you kissed my lips, and you saved me. My hands, they were strong, but my knees were far too weak to stand in your arms.
So then, the introduction to this song, you're going to learn 4 different shapes. Now the best way to learn this is to learn the shape first and then learn the finger picking pattern afterwards, once you've got the shape really clear in your mind. The shape looks like this, and you're going to have to use these fingers. Just a word of warning, guys, this is probably aimed at intermediate guitarists to sort of beginner, that sort of level band that you're going to be playing in. So if you're a very beginner guitarist, I recommend you check out my beginner course. It's on the website, rexpearson.com, and you'll be able to learn how to play, how to do finger picking properly, so that you can attempt a song like this, no problem, all free. Okay, this is the shape that you're going to need. You're going to need to use your little finger, and it goes on the 10th fret on the B string. And you want to make sure that your fretting sounds something like that. The next note is going to be the 3rd finger, and now this is important that you use these 2 fingers, and you'll see why later. 3rd finger goes down on the same fret, 10th fret, but it's going to be on the G string, so the 2 of them are going to be stacked together like that. So just make sure that you can get those 2 notes ringing out nice and clearly. The other note that we're going to bring into this, into the finger picking pattern, is the D note, the open D. So make sure you've got all 3 notes ringing out nicely. And that's the first shape. The second shape that you need to get under your fingers, and remember we're doing the shapes first and then we're going to learn the pattern afterwards. All you need to do, this is going to act as your pivot point. These don't ever leave the fretboard for these 2 shapes. You're going to use the first finger and bring it down on the 8th fret on the A string. Now it doesn't matter if this finger mutes any of the strings below it, because we're not using them. We're only going to be playing these 3 notes. The one you're doing with the 1st finger, the 3rd finger, and the 4th finger. That, guys, is the second shape. Make sure each one is ringing out nice and clearly before you move on. It should sound like this. And that's the second shape. The 3rd shape is similar to a C major chord. If you know your bar chords really well, you'll sort of recognize this shape. The 3rd finger is going to have to move to get this one. In fact, the whole hand's going to have to move. So the little pivot point that made that change nice and easy is going to have to release. And it's going to be a little bit difficult because you're going to have to line up on a C major chord. 1st finger on the 8th fret here on the B string. The 2nd finger is going to go on the 9th fret on the G string, and then the 10th fret, the 3rd finger, is going to be on the D string. So you've got 3 notes that sound like this. And you'll see in the video I used my thumb here to also play the bass note, but I'm not going to actually teach you guys how to do that. in this video, but it will all be in the mastery pack if you want to learn how to incorporate that into the chord shape. So you've got 3 notes that we're looking at here. That's the third shape. Make sure you can play that nice and accurately, all 3 notes ringing out clearly. Probably the third finger is going to be a culprit of muting the strings below it. So if you get something that sounds like something like that, and you want that note, you need to make sure that this is on its fingertip. Make sure that you're holding the guitar neck properly, just like I teach you guys in the beginner guitar course, and then you should get 3 notes that sound like that. Okay, final shape. If you know your bar chords, this should be a familiar one. It's a minor bar chord, and it's from the 10th fret here. If you don't know it, I'm just going to talk you through it now. You need to bar across 5 strings. So if you haven't done bar chords, you might need to build up the strength to get this. But you've got the first finger barring across the 10th fret. You're going to play that first note. Second finger is going to be on the 11th fret here on the B string. The third finger is going to go down on the 12th on the D string. And the fourth finger is going to be on the same number, 12, on the G string. So from the lowest to highest, it will sound like this. And the full bar chord also has, but we don't actually play that, as you'll see in a minute when we learn the finger picking pattern. So you guys need to make sure that you can hear all those 4 notes, and that's the 4th shape. First stage of this is to practice changing from one shape to the next. Don't worry about finger picking pattern, just try and get it so that you can go second shape, third shape, and 4th shape. Slow it down nice and gently, and make sure that between the first and second shape you don't lift off and come back down, because you've got a nice pivot point. All it takes is the first finger just moving up and down. Between the 3rd and the 4th shape you also have a pivot point, because otherwise most people will release and do a full bar chord. In the song it changes very, very quickly, so you need to make sure that you can be as efficient as possible, and there is a little pivot point hidden in there. When you play this shape, the 3rd finger here can just slide up 2 frets. That's your pivot point to then build the minor chord. So don't lift off that 3rd finger between the 3rd and the 4th shape, and that can help you get a faster, smoother transition between the 2. So guys, practice that before moving on to the next part, which is the finger picking pattern. One of the main rules you need to watch out for is that the thumb is sticking to the bass notes. You don't want to be just using the thumb to play all this, and that the 1st and 2nd fingers stick to the correct notes as well. It starts like this, with a pinch and then a thumb. So you're going to pinch between the 1st and 2nd finger, and then you're going to do a thumb again. It sounds like this on the 1st shape. That's it. So make sure you've got a nice clean sounding part there. Then you're going to alternate between the 1st and the 2nd fingers. 1st, 2nd. So the full riff at the beginning sounds like this. And you also add that 1st finger on the end as well. So you alternate thumb 1st, thumb 2nd, thumb 1st. Then we move into the 2nd shape, and it's quite a quick change. Happens actually on an upbeat just before the downbeat of the next bar. And it sounds like this. I'll do the change and then we'll work on the finger picking pattern once we've done the change. Pinch. Pinch between the 1st and 2nd fingers. And the finger picking pattern is similar after that. So you've got pinch, thumb, 1, 2. So we've got once you've plucked that 4th finger, we're then going to move into a little riff here. You're going to break away from the chord shape, break away from your pivot point. You're on your 4th finger here, you've already played it once. You need to move it up a fret, put the 3rd finger down where the 4th finger was, and the 1st finger on the 8th fret on the B string. So you've got a little riff that sounds like this. And make sure you get that 4th finger sliding for that whole riff. So the second pattern, now you're into the third shape, and this first finger is your pivot point into your third shape. Don't worry about the bass note, just worry about these 3 notes. And it's the same finger picking pattern as the first one. Pinch, double thumb, alternate. So we've got then we're changing to the final shape. You're almost there. Very quick bar chord here, and now remember my main tip is that you keep the third finger rooted, slide it up 2 frets, build the minor chord. Okay, so when you make the change, you're going to do a pinch again, and it's similar to the second shape that you did. A little bit of a pause. Then with the first finger, you're going to tackle the G string. The thumb now moves rather than what it has done, where it stayed in the same place and all the other shapes. It now moves to the finger that the third finger is, the note that the third finger is playing. And the finger picking pattern goes like this. I'll play that again. So the last 2 changes there, we've got then it repeats. Riff. Use the pivot point. Okay, practice that finger picking pattern to death until you make sure that you get it as accurately as you can, because it's pretty important that you get that as well as you can do, and it's pretty hardcore going. That's going to take some practice if you're new to finger picking, and even if you're not, it's going to take a little while to learn the chord shapes and particularly the rhythm of the changes there. So play it along with me on this video. Don't forget the mastering pack's going to have a lot more information for you that's going to really help you get this song nailed. You can get that from the website rexpearson.com. Hope to see you there. Okay, next part, a lot easier now. We're into the chords and the chord strumming. We're going to fire through the pre-chorus and the chorus at the same time, and that's pretty much the whole song done. Most of it is focused around this finger picking intro, so I hope that was of use to you guys. Next part, pre-chorus.